The sulfate in the sulfuric acid becomes bonded to the lead. In the result of this chemical reaction, two free electrons are produced in the anode side. Now if we create any path between anode to cathode, these electrons will start flow from anode to cathode because of electrons' pressure difference between these terminals. What exactly is a lead-acid battery? To understand it, first we need to know what is battery. Battery is an electrical power storage device where we store the electrical power in the form of DC power. This power can be used later for different purposes like electric vehicles, engines, etc. In DC form, or we can invert it and use this power into alternating current form also. A lead-acid battery is a rechargeable battery that uses lead and sulfuric acid to function. The lead is submerged into the sulfuric acid to allow a controlled chemical reaction. This chemical reaction is what causes the battery to produce electricity. Then, this reaction is reversed to recharge the battery. How does a lead-acid battery work? In a single cell there are two terminals, one is positive or cathode, this is made of lead oxide, and other is negative or anode, this is made of pure lead. The cell is filled with the diluted sulfuric acid. That is called electrolyte also. To put it simply, when we put cathode and anode in the sulfuric acid, a chemical reaction occurs and the sulfate in the sulfuric acid becomes bonded to the lead. In the result of this chemical reaction, two free electrons are produced in the anode side. The sulfate in the sulfuric acid join the lead and make lead sulfate, and oxygen atom of lead oxide join with the hydrogen atoms and make H2O or water. On the anode side, sulfate join the lead and make lead sulfate. Here in the anode side, two free electrons are produced. In this situation, anode side is negatively charged as compared to the cathode side. This creates the pressure difference between anode and cathode. As we know, the flow of electron is called current. In simple words, current will flow from anode to cathode. If we measure the voltage between anode and cathode, it will be round about 2 volts. If we put any DC electric load between these terminals, it will consume the continuous power, and being the time sulfuric acid becomes weaker and there will be almost water in electrolyte place. And the battery charge will also become weaker. This is the discharging condition of battery. The electrical charge is replenished by reversing this reaction. If we provide electric power supply to the battery by any external source like alternator or solar panels, it reverses the electrons on anode terminal and reverse the whole chemical reaction. Sulfate goes back and joint hydrogen atom and makes sulfuric acid, and oxygen atoms goes back to cathode side terminal, join lead and make lead oxide. Thus, the battery is recharged.